What would you do if you heard faint cries coming from a place everyone else ignores? Not loud, not dramatic, just weak, fading sounds of life asking for one more chance. That's exactly what happened when a veterinarian stopped in a neglected corner and chose to listen. Beneath dust and debris, she found 4 tiny puppies huddled together, trembling, starving, and barely strong enough to move. Their ribs showed through their skin. Their eyes were only half open, and their bodies carried the exhaustion of fighting to survive in a world that never noticed them. This moment reveals the true meaning of compassion, not words, not sympathy from a distance, but the decision to kneel in the dirt and say, "Your lives matter." She lifted the first puppy gently. It didn't resist, it didn't have the strength. One by one, she gathered all 4, wrapping them in a blanket to give them the first warmth they had felt in days. Their cries began to soften, not because their pain had vanished, but because they were no longer alone. At the clinic, reality set in. Rescue is not an instant miracle. It is fragile, slow, and uncertain. Warm milk had to be given carefully. Medical checks revealed weakness and dehydration. One puppy struggled to swallow. Another could not stand. The smallest barely moved. Survival at this stage depended on patience, sleepless nights, and relentless hope. Then, slowly, life began to return. A tiny tail moved, a paw stretched, a faint whimper turned into a soft bark. Days passed, and their eyes began to shine. They started to recognize the hands that fed them. They leaned into touch instead of shrinking away. Fear made room for trust. This is what love looks like when it is given without conditions. But this story should make us think, not just feel. These 4 survived because one person happened to stop and care. What about the countless others still suffering in silence? Across animals are born into hardship simply because systems to protect them are weak or non-existent. Rescue should not depend on luck. It should be a shared responsibility. Imagine neighborhoods supporting shelters. Imagine abandonment replaced with accountability. Imagine compassion becoming the norm instead of the exception. In the end, the 4 puppies are seen together, no longer trembling, no longer silent. They play clumsily, their tails wagging like tiny flags of victory. The veterinarian watches quietly, not seeking praise, only ensuring that 4 small hearts keep beating. Saving the world does not always mean changing everything. Sometimes it means saving for lives and refusing to look away. And in the quiet moments when the clinic grows still and the world outside falls asleep, 4 tiny breaths echo in the silence, living proof that compassion is still possible. Just days ago, these fragile hearts stood on the edge of disappearing forever. No names, no shelter, no hands reaching down to save them. Today, they are alive not because they were the strongest, but because one human being refused to let them die unseen. The real tragedy is not that these puppies almost didn't survive, it's that their story repeats every single day without anyone noticing. How many faint cries go unheard? How many eyes close before they ever witness